we are trying to encourage the public to really avoid getting out there and doing a lot of cleanup and damage repair right now until after the continued threat of the windstorms have passed. We want people to continue to be safe.
And Wade, give us what you're hearing is the extent of damage. How bad is it?
Well, it's going to vary from location to location, and we're hearing, down power lines. We're hearing a lot of course, down trees, tree branches, power outages, of course. So some overturned vehicles in some of the high winds. Again, it varies around the Wasatch Front. Reports are continuing to come in, so I really don't have a lot of totals at this point.
So what happens in a scenario like this when you're already dealing with something pretty big, with the pandemic? So, I mean, how do you add on to something like this with personnel?
We kind of just basically have to change focus a little bit. We still want to continue our efforts in providing whatever is needed for a response to COVID-19 pandemic, but we just have to change our focus. It's kind of interesting. In fact, today we had our monthly state emergency response team planned training and exercise, which we canceled, of course, in light of the situation that we have here. So we've just asked those people to continue to work in their specific areas of responsibility to provide support to the local response from the storms.
And with all indications that this is going to continue, that strong winds this evening, how are you planning for that? And what are you moving into place, or how are you preparing?
I don't have a lot of information on that, but we are going to continue to gather information and reach out to the local level emergency responders and local level emergency managers to find out what support, what resources are needed. We want to continue to encourage people to be safe and vigilant, to continue to take shelter if they are in those areas of high winds, and not risk any damage or injury to themselves or others. And again, avoid cleanup and damage debris cleanup and repairs until after the threat has passed.
Okay, and we've heard from many municipalities up and down the Wasatch Front that you're asking just people to stay inside. You're saying, don't worry about the cleanup right now. Don't worry about the trash blowing down the street, that your trash can is now in the next county's yard. Just stay in right now, huh? Yeah, absolutely. Again, there's the hazards around there. Potential hazards of down power lines. Again, tree branches could continue to come down. Those that may have been weakened earlier with, gusts of wind, high wind gusts could continue to come down and cause injury. So we just want people to be careful. You know what's kind of crazy is we're looking at some of this video right now. We just looked at all this video from the southeast part of the United States with Hurricane Laura. And this looks a lot the same, in some of these concentrated areas. I know these pictures really aren't ubiquitous across Utah. I mean, they're just generalized or localized spots, but this looks similar to hurricane damage here. Yeah, absolutely. Fortunately, we don't live in hurricane country, but we can get hurricane force winds. We have in the past, several years ago, same thing, same situation. Hurricane force wind gusts that come down out of the mountains and just cause devastating damage.
Yeah, I'm surprised actually by how bad it is. Wade Matthews with Emergency Management, thank you so much for giving us an update, and please keep us posted of any other problems. Appreciate the interview.
Yeah, nice job. Thanks, Wade. All right, so we're talking about all this damage up and down the Wasatch Front, and we've got our reporters all up and down, and we've seen everybody, all of the reporters who are out there just about getting blown over by these wind gusts. You can have one moment, you can be in a lull where it looks like it's just a beautiful and tranquil day, and then all of a sudden these gusts come up and they about knock you down.
All right, let's go out to Adam right now. I'm not even sure where Adam is this morning.
But he'll tell us.
But he's getting blown around. We can see that. Adam, good morning.
Yeah, Dan Carey, we're on Legacy Parkway right now. I'm holding onto the railing because I'm not going to lie, it is miserable out here. My lips are dry. We got dirt blowing into our mouths. We got the semi-truck on its side right over there. You can tell cars finally allowed through here on Legacy Parkway for the first time in a little while. It was taking me about half an hour just to go about 0.1, 0.2 miles. I guess I could have walked a little faster, but if I was walking, I would have gotten blown away. Honestly, if I was not holding on to this railing right now, I would be getting blown away. I don't even know if my photographer, who's standing 6 feet away from me, can even hear me right now. But if we could point to some of the traffic going down this way, that's what makes me nervous. Not so much the wind, but as these big rigs are driving past us, that is what makes me nervous. The biggest advice I would give, if you're standing next to or driving next to some of these brave big rig drivers, don't do it. Just keep a safe distance. There is traffic everywhere right now. There is no point in getting wherever you're trying to go a little bit faster by driving into the lane of traffic next to one of these brave big rig drivers. You can see, Doug, I don't know if you can hear me, but if you could point to some of these big rigs down over here, these are the guys who are doing it the right way. They should be pulling over, and honestly, a lot of cars doing the same thing, because it is very dangerous out here to be driving these high-profile vehicles. Again, we are on Legacy Parkway right now near Centerville. It is an obstacle course just to even drive up here in the wind. You can see I'm still getting toppled over a little bit, but it is an obstacle course just to drive a normal car with all the fallen street signs, all the fallen debris. If I'm short of breath,